Brilliance Audio presents Advice and Dissent: Why America Suffers When Economics and Politics Collide by Alan S. Blinder, performed by Mel Foster. The Lamppost Theory of Economic Policy. Politicians use economics in the same way that a drunk uses lampposts, for support rather than illumination. Variation on a theme of Andrew Lang, 1910. May I start by dispelling a myth? Many people seem to believe that economists have enormous influence over public policy. After all, we pop up frequently on television, have our own Council of Economic Advisors within the White House, serve in many advisory posts, sometimes occupy cabinet positions, and dominate one of the U.S. government's most powerful agencies, the Federal Reserve System. In fact, prior to Jerome Powell, 5 of the last 6 chairs of the Federal Reserve Board, dating back to 1970, were economists. The other lasted just 17 months on the job. All this provides superficial credence for the popular misconception that economists play pivotal, if not indeed decisive, roles in public policy decisions. But it's a myth. The truth is better summarized by the epigram above. Like a drunk, politicians use economics for support, not illumination. Consider Donald J. Trump. He was elected President of the United States on November 8, 2016, and assumed office on January 20, 2017. That was plenty of time to acquire some economic advisors, not to mention some economic advice, if he wanted any. Instead, the new president killed the Trans-Pacific Partnership, presented a budget to Congress, embraced a radical House plan to replace Obamacare, which later failed in the Senate, backed America out of the Paris Agreement on climate change, and made menacing noises about bank deregulation, all before he had a single member on his Council of Economic Advisors, CEA. That momentous event finally arrived on September 12, 2017, when Kevin Hassett was confirmed as chairman of the CEA. Until that day, a campaign aide named Peter Navarro was the only PhD economist in Trump world. What's that? You've never heard of Navarro? That's my point. If Mr. Trump thought either illumination or support from economists was important, he certainly didn't show it. As a longtime member of the tribe, I'd like to believe that economists are essential pieces in the economic policy puzzle. But it's a myth, and one purpose of this book is to explode it. The truth is that the lamppost theory, which predates President Trump by decades, has it about right. To be sure, there are instances in which economic reasoning has provided illumination that influenced policy profoundly, maybe even decisively. Deregulation of trucking and airlines in the 1970s and 1980s comes to mind, as does tax reform in 1986. But it's hard to think of a recent example. There are far more cases in which politicians knew what they wanted to do and then just leaned on economics, sometimes very bad economics, for support. The lamppost theory may be good for politicians. Many of them like to trot out economists to support their favored policies in public. It's good for political messaging, or so they believe. It certainly adds a patina of intellectual respectability. And especially in a world where hardly anyone believes politicians, economists can add putatively disinterested, maybe even scientific voices to the debate. There is even a name for this support activity. It's called validating. I have served as a validator for Democratic politicians numerous times, typically being asked to speak or write approvingly about policy positions I had no role in formulating.